Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
Sunsworn Wings of Vengeance is funding now on Indiegogo. Don't miss this action-packed space fantasy adventure sure to rekindle your love for the genre. Get it now on Indiegogo or just go to sunsworn.com.
When they mined an area, they put down yellow tape right across that line. See? And if you walked on the wrong side of that yellow tape, you blew up.
Strange Tales 136, I remember it very clearly, and that was my first exposure to Kirby. And I wanted to show it to people.
Hey yo, what's happening? This is gonna be the final unboxing of 2021. Looking kind of forward to it. You know what's up. Um, I have in the backstage Mr. Paul Gomez. Oh, Danny. Danny, I hope you're doing good, dude. We miss you out here. And I know you may be seeing some F Danny merch and stuff. It ain't you, bro. Okay, it ain't you. It's a little wooden puppet that threatened Mo Big's life. And, we're out to get Danny. It's not you though, bro. We love you. Danny M, you're good. All right. But yes, there is a thing. Okay, there's a thing. There's this little puppet that keeps coming after coming after the people in Bancroft's chat and just being mean to people. And his name's Danny. And he tells everybody, I'm Danny. And he's just an evil little. He's kind of like Crom. He's an evil little, messing with people all the time. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, you know what's up, man. I do have F Danny hats in the merch. I just want you to know it wasn't about you, bro. We need you more in 2022, man. This thing's growing. You're a very charismatic guy, Danny. When you're happy, when you're having fun. You bring the masses. You make people laugh. You make people smile. When you go to them CSF games, do you guys all have a good time hanging out together? We need you out in this family having that kind of fun too, bro. Straight up. So I'm looking forward to seeing you more in 2022. What do you think of that? All right, I ain't gonna hold Paul up all day. I did have one pearl of wisdom that I wanted to drop on people. I wrote this shit down so that I wouldn't forget it. I'm not a fan of messengers. I'm a fan of messages. If the message is flawed, I don't care who's saying it. I just don't care. If you're a celebrity, if you're a comic pro, if you're a politician, I just don't care. If the message's flawed, got no time for you. Y'all need to figure this shit out. 2022 is a whole new year. And you know what? I am your papa. That's how we're running into 2022, baby. Taking over. What do you say, Paul?
All right. Ready for it to come. We're here. We're ready.
You got to power through it, right?
Yeah.
No matter what it is, you got to power through it, okay? I said that at the beginning of 2021. It was my motto. Adapt and overcome, power through it. It was my motto at the beginning of last summer when Emerald City went down and all my friends went, ah! It was like,
man,
adapt
and
overcome,
I'm telling you, man,
power through it.
I wouldn't have got my comics made if I hadn't have just kept going and keep going. It was one bad thing after another, and it was like, look, I'll take it step by step, and even though things are hitting me, I'm still going to keep going because, this world's going to keep turning.
Yes, power through it. You got to, man.
Yeah.
You got to have control of your destiny. You cannot let destiny slap you around and go sit in the corner. When destiny starts slapping you around, you got to slap back.
That's a funny thing because this book that I sent you is just about that kind of stuff too. I mean, whenever I was going through everything that happened to me, lost my job, going through a divorce, all these bad things that were happening to my kids, I was like, hey, you got to take it in stride. You got to work through it. And if I didn't have, my writing to go back to, and I just started it this year because of all that stuff, losing my job and the kids being out of school, and I wanted to make sure that they were morally, uplifted instead of just being at home, just down. And it was one of those things that you just one step at a time.
See, that's one of the things that we were lucky about when it came to when the kids had to stay home. There's 4 of them.
Yeah.
They're not going to be bored. You know what I mean?
I had 6 of them.
They're not going to be bored. They're going to be able, that was the one thing I could look forward to. We weren't going to have a lack of things to do or lack of ways to keep them interested. I mean, obviously I got,
right.
But at the same time, there's 4 of them, so they could kind of bounce off each other. And
Right.
it wasn't. I felt really sorry for the parents that only had one,
Right.
and they had to try and, you know, keep that kid excitable about going back to school when it's time and everything's gonna. Man, that had to be hard. It's different when there's more.
And also, I mean, it was also different in my household because we had a lot of stuff going on. You know, right at the beginning, the oldest that was in the house caught COVID.
Oh.
So, you know, he had to be put in a room where he
Isolated, yeah.
couldn't be. And, you know, it was like we were trying to keep his morale up and he was scared about getting everyone else sick. And then my daughter started cutting herself up and it was like, you know, what do you do to keep morale up? Then I had one diagnosed with diabetes. And he's 13. Well, he was 12 at the time. So he was trying to process all this. And this is something that's hard for anyone, let alone a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So it was like going through all that and my wife's depression and, you know, helping other people out. Because like my father and, you know, I had to go bring him groceries and stuff because he didn't really want to come out of the house and stuff. And we had a lot of friends and family that were that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, what do you do to keep your morale up? And one of the things I did was like gathered the kids around and I said, let's start creating stories. You know, it really wasn't necessarily comics at the beginning,
Right.
but I was like, let's create stories and see, you know,
Give me some
what we can
ideas,
do with them.
kids. I know what you were doing.
Yeah.
know what you-
I am. I mean, I got like 10, 20 ideas from them. I had like 50 ideas of my own. And one of the best ones that came out of them was Bushy Boo Circus. I mean, that really was me and the kids hammering it out. But I mean, they also had, you know, there was good ideas, there were bad ideas.
Right.
One of my kids wanted to do like a radioactive rabbit that turned into like a Godzilla-sized rabbit attacking the town. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do with that, but we'll visit that later.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We could figure something out there. We'd cross
Yeah.
Godzilla with the Energizer Bunny and
Exactly.
turn him
Yeah,
loose on a
yeah.
planet where there's evil people.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ideas that came out of those weeks of powwowing with the kids.
Yes.
And it was great because we had fun too, and that was the main thing.
I mean, I got to go over there and peek over the shoulders and probably get to know teachers better than I did otherwise.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean, you don't get to see them every day when the kids are at school. But when the teachers are coming into your home, you get some idea who they are, you know. And
Yeah.
that's a good thing for parents to know who the teachers are.
Yeah. Now we had a band teacher that came over like once a week with my daughter, and she would stay at the end of the driveway, and my daughter would be close to the house, and they would play and stuff, and it was great. I'd like to go out there and listen to them when they were just doing that. It was awesome, I thought.
See, that's you know, human interaction is a huge part of being a human.
Right. And a lot of people forget that, especially nowadays.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
what are you gonna do?
the internet isn't really human interaction unless you actually get
Right.
to know somebody. You talk to them a lot and you get to
Right.
know them, and you know them when they're happy and you know them when they're sad, and you're not, you don't misunderstand every text they type, you know, because you know who the person is.
Right.
So many problems derive from a bad text or a misunderstood text, or the inflection was taken wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, it happens so much, man. You type something, and everybody takes it wrong. It's like, okay,
And they say
now I have
that
to,
like communication is
gotta, like-
70% nonverbal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 70% nonverbal because you're using your hands or the tone or just the mannerism, and people understand what you're saying as opposed to just reading those words on there. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're a wordsmith and you know how to use them correctly, then the other person can feel it. And
well, I
that's
mean,
one of the things that I put.
This is the issue for me. Business should never be done in text.
Right.
Never,
And
ever.
nothing important. There's a certain
Yeah,
level of
yeah,
importance. Once it gets to a certain level, then it shouldn't be in text. It shouldn't be an
yes.
email. It should be a conversation over the phone or preferably in person, but something that you could hear and understand
I
the other
mean, I like
person
the
whenever
book.
it
I
gets to
like
that
the
point.
video. I like to video chat with somebody if there's a misunderstanding, or if somebody takes one of my texts in the wrong way. I don't want to have to go out there and type my explanation
Right.
and have 3 other people dissect that. I'd rather talk to
Right.
you so you can see my face, you can hear my voice, you know what I
Right.
mean. There is no
Exactly.
question. Okay.
But I mean, and a lot of people are getting used to this. I mean, because I know whenever this all started, whenever I lost my job, I was out there doing this stuff like 3 or 4 times a week, and I wasn't used to the webcams and the
Right.
streams and this and that. But I was doing those interviews with companies, and it just didn't seem the same. I mean,
Do you
you had to get
remember?
used to it.
Do you remember back when video phone calls was sure, someday. Do you remember that? It's
Someday.
like, yeah, someday. It's like now
Yeah.
every video, everything, not just phone
Well, I
calls.
mean, phones. They got that video chat on the phones nowadays.
Yeah.
You just can, it's awesome.
It's a whole new world. And look,
Yeah.
we're going into a new year, and
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to it. This is the last unboxing of
Awesome.
2021, man. You got in right under the wire, Paul.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna get to you on Monday, and I was originally
fast.
gonna send it, before that first show, but I was like, yeah,
Shipping.
yeah,
Priority mailer, Gemini.
right.
Works perfectly every time.
And I
Oh,
did a lot of
good. I didn't have
studying,
your email.
being a
Cool.
I did a lot of studying whenever I became a comic creator. I heard a lot of people say that they love Gemini and they insisted on priority email. And it was like one of those things that I wanted to do what my customers were doing. So it's basically a routine now.
Uh-oh. What's up?
Uh-oh.
Is this an ash can for Bushy Boo?
Oh, it's an ash can for both. You got PTSD on one side and Bushy Boo for the other.
Over. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I did these originally before the comics came out because I felt being a new comic creator, I needed to market and advertise and stuff.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So people could see part of the story that I was writing, and also, the style of the paper that they're going to get and whatnot. So I wanted to do an ash can. I had heard a lot of people tell me not to, but I was like, you got to get out there before those books come out.
Yeah, dude. Look, I tell everybody, put that pre-launch campaign up. Come out of my show. Go on, and I start telling everybody all the other shows you can go on. Go before you launch. People need to know who you are. You got to show up in the chat on other channels. Hi, everybody. Hail the panel. Hail the chat. Get where people know who you are and know you for who you are. Bookshelf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I share all these different streams to the madness, so that all you guys can go out, get in the chat, and get known.
Right.
Get known. Go comment in the chat. Before you know it, the host of that show is going to be, hey, yo, Paul, you got to come out on my show.
Yeah,
that's
the one thing. I didn't think I'd be sitting here with you. I think I first saw your show months before PTSD came out, but I didn't think I'd be able to come on. And then
dude, I don't have a you have to be a certain level regulation. Okay.
Right.
I do a show that's just for first timers.
Right. And I appreciate that. I mean, people who promote us, as comic creators are, to me, more as important, if not more, than the comic creators themselves, because how else are you going to hear about it?
Look at that. And he asked me which cover I wanted, and I told him, I said, oh, that red pops. I got to have Muth. Is it Muth?
Jeff Muth, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had to have this cover because it just blew up red. Black and red is the madness theme colors, right? That's our stuff. And then he sent me the Virgin as well. Yo, check it out. I got
that trade one that I signed there for you.
Yes,
Can you do me a favor? Open that up.
Uh-oh. He said, "Open it up." Here we go.
On that first page inside the interior.
Come on, careful. Tape, bro.
Tape, yeah.
This is the tape you use on comic books.
Yeah, I was gonna
show
buy
you
the
why.
blue stuff. It's a little more expensive, and my money's kind of been,
Yeah,
tight.
blue and the green though. That's
Yeah.
a comic saver. You use that on the bag and it comes off really easy.
Right.
Or it opens really easy. I'm gonna put some on this one right now, just to show you. It's like
Yeah.
there's no pullback at all. It just comes right off. Okay, so
Right.
you don't have to worry about bending books or nothing. All right, we have it out.
So we're gonna look inside that
Look at
credits
that
page.
blue. Look at that blue
Yeah.
signature, y'all. That's awesome.
Thank you. I went out there and I was looking for markers to sign because the black ones just didn't show up. So if you look down there on that credits page, there's a dedicated to. Can you see that?
On the first page.
Yeah, look right here where I'm showing.
Okay, yeah. Now I see it. Okay, there's a little right there.
Right there. There you go.
It says, "Pops Van Zandt, thank you for all you do."
So
Look.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely.
You guys don't do this, I got nothing to do.
so being a brand new creator, they asked me who I want to dedicate it to. And you can see right there on this issue, it's right there, it's blank.
Yep.
And others I wrote in there to Pops Van Zandt, right? So, I've never made a comic before this, and then they're like, who do you want to dedicate it to? And I'm like, well, it's going to be my first one. I want to dedicate it to God. So I know a lot of people aren't religious. So I decided to leave it blank. And on my first copy that I ever pulled down, touched, and I got, saved away, I wrote God in there.
Nice.
And I tell people that I sign it to them because I believe God's in everybody.
And
it might not be your religious belief, but that's what I believe.
There's a very personalized touch to that too, though. Okay, you didn't just print out a page with everybody's name on it.
Right.
You actually took the time to go inside each book and write a little thank you note to every person who backed that book.
Well, I did put the thank you on the back.
Oh, well, that's cool too, though. I'm just saying, you actually took the time to make it personal.
But
okay?
I did
show
try to
personal
personalize
appreciation.
things,
yeah. And dude, that's not measured in dollars and cents,
Yeah.
And
a lot of my backers, I sent them the ash can, and I didn't have many left. I sent them the ash can, and usually I tried to sign that for them. I also sent other backers, little things like stickers and stuff that I didn't use while I was trying to promote. I had flyers made and all this other good stuff. Give me a
product placement is a good thing, though.
Yeah. And it was one of those things I was trying to do a little bit more just to show that I appreciated it. I mean, I feel like I made a complete comic, but I had flyers done.
Oh,
with the QR code and pictures and stuff, and then on the other side there's Bushibu.
Nice.
And I threw some of these into the Kickstarter packages along with sometimes thank you notes that I wrote out to people too. It was, like I said, it was one of those things that I felt like I wanted to do more for the people who backed me because they backed the project that I never thought would come to fruition. So I mean, I'm grateful. I mean, I still can't believe I really can't.
See,
but
now that right there, that's the kind of emotion and excitement and what you want to feel as a fan from the guy producing the books you're reading. You want to see that kind of happiness. Dude's just ecstatic that he's got books out there that people want to read, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's what it's all about.
I mean, whenever they spend their money, I'm grateful. I mean, I want them to read it and feel something whenever they read my stories. Because like I said, I spent, weeks, months, so much time to make sure that it's not just an average story for you, that you feel something, or that there's something that pulls you in deep into this, and especially with PTSD. I never thought I was going to try to make money with it, because I was trying to get Bushiboo to be my platform, I guess you could say. And PTSD was more of a passion project.
But see, in the end, though, those the ones that mean the most to you are the ones that are going to be the most special, regardless.
Right.
Okay, no matter how much Bushiboo sells or whatever, it's like the one that came, that first one, obviously. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, who you dedicated it to, straight up. That one's always going to be in your feels, no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm happy that you're out here and that you got people that are following you. And anytime you got something going on, you got to come out and tell us.
I appreciate it. I love being on your show. I love talking to you. Like I said, whenever I first saw you, I saw you the first, man, I think it was before the Indie Volt Awards. I think like a month or two before that was the first time I saw your streams. Because, I was new to the indie stuff. So I really didn't know much. I surfed the YouTube stuff to find like study material and things. And they were great study material. I don't know if you know Draw and Talk with Tyler Carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. I had his stuff on the background all the time, just listening to how he did it.
Had a hit song last year.
What steps to do.
Did you know that? Tyler had a hit song last year?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called Where Is My Book? Where is my book? It was a
Which
good
one's
tune.
that, Chef?
It was catchy,
Oh, yeah.
It was about that Red Rooster mess where the dude put them in Walmart and still hadn't sent out to his backers yet.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, yo, dude, where's my book?"
And that's one of the things I was proud of as well. Whenever I got PTSD, is I was like, I'm going to send all these out the first month that I can. And I have. There's only one book that hadn't gone out, and that's because I hadn't got the person's address. And I've emailed them a few times. But, all the rest of them went out that first month. And with Bushiboo, I think I'm on track, maybe a month and a half at the most. And, those are going to get out there to the people who have dedicate, back that as well. Oh yeah, and the art, the interior art.
Yeah,
isn't that beautiful?
I just want everybody to know this one is live. This one is real.
Yeah,
dude is solid. Just put out his second book, Bushiboo Lola. He just put out his second book, Bushiboo Circus. It just ended the other day, but I'll bet you can get a copy if you want.
Yeah.
The Bushiboo Circus Mysteries, which is also look, Lola, look. See the strong man? Oh yeah, got some clowns in there. It's a Bushiboo Circus, and it was amazing because if you go watch a couple weeks ago, Paul was on the show, and his son cosplayed one of the characters. Man,
actually, he's right here. He wanted to talk to you and say hi. Do you mind if I let him just jump in here for a second?
Sure. Hell yeah.
Oh no. Back to this again.
What's happening?
Kind of tired.
Yeah.
I was just watching my TV and then my dad came and took me away.
You weren't watching us live, bro? What?
I was in the living room.
Oh, okay.
So I was sitting on the couch waiting for him to call me.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. Look, you came out last week and stole the show, bro. I just want you to know that. A lot of people talking about your appearance on that show.
Was I just that amazing?
There are a lot of famous cosplayers out there. Most of them are women. I think you're going to take over, bro. I think you're going to take over. You're going to make cosplay for men a bigger thing, right? Because, A, you have a solid character to go out and do this with. as
Yeah.
a ringleader or whatever you want to call it of a circus, right? As a
Yeah.
ringmaster, whatever you want, however you want to call it, you get to direct a lot of things. And when you go to cons dressed that way, you get to go play the part. Okay.
Mhm.
So build a persona that fits the character in the comic book. And when you go to cons with your dad, go out there and bring the people to the table. You know what I mean? Come
Yeah.
on. You got to go out there and you got to be that circus guy, that hawker. Come
Yeah.
on, everybody. Come into the big top and see what we have. You know what I mean? You got to tell your dad to build a little tent over his
Stand.
over his table at the con, so it looks like a big top. Oh, Pop's got ideas, bro. You guys stick with me. I'll get famous. It just ended, but it was Bushy Boo Circus on Kickstarter. Let me see. I don't know if I still have it in my banners or not. Get so many, and eventually they make you kick them out, bring in new ones. But I'll see if I can find it real quick. If not, I'll have I don't have it in here. I will have Joe drop it in the chat for us. Paul, when he comes back, Joe. It's early. Okay. So what did you have a blast? Did you have a blast dressing up and doing that?
Yeah, it's fun dressing up and doing that. Especially whenever at first I was so excited to do that, but I kept forgetting the line over and over and over again. And we had to get my little kid, my brother's little draw thing, and we wrote it down on a sign, put it in front of me, and they were recording it, and I had to read from the sign, and I kept messing up. And we kept laughing at that.
So do you remember the line now?
No. I can't remember it still.
I'll bet you remember the words to your favorite songs.
I can't remember any of that either. I have to have it like going in the background to remember it. That's how I have to remember things. Like either a rhythm or something. I just can't remember it normally.
Work on that.
Yeah.
Build a personality around that character that people will see come to life when you're at the cons, dude. It'll help your dad a lot. I ain't lying. It'll help sell books, and that really is what we're trying to do. Get books in as many people's hands as possible. You know what word of mouth means, right?
No.
Okay, so you got something, you get something cool. Do you tell somebody about it?
Yeah.
That's word of mouth, bro. Now the next guy knows about it. He might go buy it too. That's how most sales are made in this country.
Yeah.
Because somebody got something cool and they told somebody else. And then that person got it and told somebody else. And you see what I'm saying? That's how that stuff works, man. We want to get these books in as many people's hands as possible. You're going to be a great salesman, man. You're going to be a great representative for your dad's comic company. And I definitely look forward to seeing you out here again.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So tell everybody who you are. Tell everybody who you are real quick.
Dylan Moore. I
Dylan
play
Moore.
as Lance for my comic book. Or for my dad's comic. I play Lance for my dad's comic book.
Yes. Plays Lance from his dad's comic book. As a cosplay kid, he's going to be out there rocking the cons. You guys are going to love him. When you see him, say hi. There you go. Gotta love it, man. I love when the kids get involved. Without that next generation,
all right,
dude. Without that next generation, this all dies with us, man. You're serving the world, Paul, in making them kids happy and involved and excited to be involved,
right?
Dude.
And reading. And, that's one of the things is, I wanted to introduce them into comics, not just to have something else that I could share with them, which I love having things to share with them, but also reading. That's one of the most important things I think. And with them having dyslexia, just like I do, is like one of a hard thing that I had to process by myself when I was younger. But having me with them, introducing them into comics, and then even introducing them into making comics.
Yes.
It's
We had a good week
great.
of books for the kids. We had a good week
Yeah.
of books for the kids. We got Cookies and Scream from Raven Monroe. We got Glenn in Monsterland from
That
Kevin
looks
Goodman.
amazing.
A lot of look, I will pass up a book for Pops if there's a good one out there for the kids. I'm telling you all that right now,
Right.
and I do it quite often. I will pass up a book for Pops, and then this little special baby right here actually has my granddaughter's fan art in it. Her first
That's
published
awesome.
piece of art, and it came yesterday. And we came out here. There it is, Sophia Blaine, her first piece of published art in a comic book, and she's so jacked.
That
It's
is
like
awesome.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Include the kids. Then we have a next generation of buyers, a next generation of creators, a next generation of cosplayers, all that.
Yeah.
Right? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to encourage the kids. You got to give them something that's going to interest them. There's a lot of good kids books. Well, maybe this one ain't quite going to be a kids book as it develops, but there's a lot of great kids books out there that your kids would love to read. When you're looking at them books to back, get some for your kids too, man. Make sure they get interested in what we're doing, or there won't be comics. Everybody's talking about the decline of the comic industry. Look, it's only going to decline if there's nobody that wants any.
Man, and they talk about what does that say? Manga. There you go. And I'm like, kids can be in manga and they can be in regular traditional comics or our traditional comics. It doesn't hurt. It's not a competition. It's just different categories to look at. It's like if you teach them to read either one, they're still learning to read. And whenever they get tired of one, they'll probably go to the other. Because I know that's what my kids do. They read mostly.
A whole box over there that's just for them to read whenever they want. Okay, they got a box like that, and then my grandson Isaac, he's got books I don't even have.
Right.
I mean, serious business in his collection. He's got stuff that I don't have that I want. He's got that Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man #1. I don't have that. It's like getting books I ain't got. What's up, boy? Yeah. See, once you've instilled that interest and that love, then it goes on its own. It just takes off. Okay. You don't have to do much. You might have to direct a little bit, but once they get the love for comics and they get the love for being involved in it, and that's the different part now that we didn't have when we were kids. You're lucky if you got your letter read and published on Stan's Soapbox or whatever, okay? And that's all the fan interaction there was. Maybe a contest here or there. But you know what I mean? Now, there is fan interaction in almost every campaign where fans can be drawn in, can buy original art, they can be, part of it, involved in it,
and like the remarks nowadays, you didn't see. You never used to see these remarks where your favorite artist is drawing like special pictures just for you, at comics. I was at my first convention and I had a customer ask for a remark from me, and I was like, I'm not an artist, but I'll do a remark if that's what you want, because the appreciation for the customers, and that's not something that you had back when we were younger. Because I don't remember having all these conventions that you could go to. I don't remember being able to see the artists and creators and stuff like that. And back then, there were only like 2 or 3 companies. There was an Image.
And that all that stuff was controlled too. If you were going to go meet one of those guys, you stood in line, you paid money, and those guys got paid for that appearance. I mean, because obviously big money talks, right? So, DC can bring out the big boys and put them into con and charge you to get up there and get an autograph or whatever. And Marvel could do that. Image could do that. I look at it now, and it's like, okay, when I went and met Mike Zeck, I thought this is going to be a hassle. I'm going to have to stand in line, blah blah blah, And we got there. It was at Grand Rapids Comic-Con like 4 years ago or something, And it's like we got there, and we're walking around, and we find his table, and he's not at his table, and it's like, oh man, that's
Right.
But there wasn't a line. He just wasn't there yet, right? But there wasn't a line. I'm like, okay, there's not a line. That's cool. We go back like 15 minutes later, and dude's sitting there all by himself. Nobody around. Go up with a backpack full of books. We got Mike to sign all the Secret Wars books, the Chuck Norris Karate Commandos #1. Got some Punisher books signed by him. We got to sit there and talk to him for like 20 minutes before anybody else even started coming around. It was like, I couldn't believe it. Back in the day, dude would have been swarmed the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on, man? But I had a
and I mean, yeah, me and Dylan are going to New Orleans in about a week or so. We're gonna go up to this fan expo, and man, he's looking forward to that. He's looking forward to meeting not only some of these celebrities, but also some of these comic creators. And I don't think about 3 or 4 years ago he would have even known any of these comic creators. So it's like, I'm glad that he's getting that appreciation for it as well. Yeah, because I mean, I understand that there's some people that don't really realize who these creators or artists are, and I definitely understand that, because I was kind of one of them at a certain point.
Yeah.
But it's great to go out there and meet these guys that do all this hard work, and seeing what they go through putting it together myself. It's like, man.
I don't know if you heard my suggestion for your table. Your
What's that?
table needs to look like a big top, man.
Yeah, right? Like a whole carnival thing? Yeah. That'd be awesome.
I have that big top look, something over the, like a tent, so it looks like the big top, man. And I told him, sell it that way, son. Go out there and sell it that way.
Right? He's got this cane that pops out, and then he's got the hat that you saw that pops out as well. And I keep telling them, you're going to have to walk around going, Bushy Boo Circus.
Yep. I told him, I said, get out there. You're like, come on. Bring them to the big top, bro. You got to go out there and sell. I told him, have fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, you get to be somebody else for a day. And you get to make up who you're being. You get to create the persona for Lance. You get to go out here, create that live persona. I don't know if you've seen Captain Wallace or not. Daniel Moore in The Madness. He does a PBS show. Captain Wallace, a old pirate dude. It's like a kid show. And when he gets in costume and everything, he's a different person. It's awesome. I mean, and he's a nice guy too. So, has a kids charity and all, I mean, he's really working for people.
That's awesome.
People.
Yeah.
I love working, I love doing this, man, trying to help people out. That's what, if you ain't helping people out, what are you doing?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And it's like PTSD is like one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to put, a number in there for people to call. And on that back page, it does have a number, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling, that you can't talk to anyone, here's a number for you, and it was one of the things. It's a really hard book, and I understand that. And a lot of people are like, that's kind of too hard of a story to be a comic book. But I was like, if this helps one person, if it helps one person out there deal with the hardships that they're going through, especially this year, all these hardships that we're having to deal with, if it helps one person, then I think it was worth it.
That right there, that shows me a lot about who you are, Paul. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Veterans Crisis Line, mental health, mental health crisis line, national suicide prevention, all that, man.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
that's
Thank
what I'm
you.
talking about,
But-
people. What's up, Joe? Got Joe D. McPhee in the chat. Joe, PSTD, bro. PSTD. Check it out. Yes. And the Virgin cover, too. Yes. So we got the reader. We got one signed. Oh, man. How am I supposed to do that? Do I read the one that's signed or do I read the Virgin? Which one?
Well, I
So
hope you read it. You let me know what you think of the story, because
Oh,
you
I
know,
will definitely
to me,
read it.
like I said, you know, I put weeks, months into that story to make sure that it pulled you into that and makes you feel that character. And that's what I wanted to do with this story. It wasn't just about making the message, which obviously to me the message was very important, obviously, but it was, not to about getting the reader to read a comic book and understand what's happening to this guy, because I mean, if you don't understand his hurt and his heartache, and if it doesn't pull you in, then it's not really doing its job.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Is it okay if I share your Facebook page?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure people know where to find you for sure. Joe, go check out what Paul's got going on. Joe also has a show. Okay, he's another one of us. Lola has a show. She's another one of us. There's so many people out here that also do what I do.
Right.
You got to just make the rounds, bro. That's what I say. That's why I post all them shows in the madness. So you guys know the shows you can be on. There's another one. I'd be like, I got drunk on her show the other day, though, boy. Oh, really drunk. Well, Luke is drinking mead out of a horn, right? And Wolbo's doing tiny shots, that are about this much in the glass, right? And shot glass, little tiny shots, and I'm doing shots. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, he sent me a link to go on his show after that. I was like, nah, I'm done. Yes.
Yeah, man. It's been great meeting everyone, being brand new to all this. I'm it's been amazing. I appreciate being on your show and get to talk to you and all these other new people that it's been really, I mean, I've been blessed. That's the only way I can say it.
It's a great family, man. And Indie Volt, look, you won't believe how many people that I've met that the first time I saw them was on Indie Volt. Okay. So
right.
Varian and Krista and Randy and everybody over there.
Yeah.
Dude, they have brought a lot of people out into the limelight. Jeremy and Lisa Treese, just a couple weeks ago with that I'm So Goth. Third book in the series. I had never heard of them. I didn't know. Boom, there they were on Indie Bolt. Boom, now there they were on my show just as soon as I could get them, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's all about the amount of eyes that somebody can get on their campaign, while it's active or in demand or whatever. It's all about the amount of eyes. There's nothing better than having people come out here and tell everybody, check out this guy, and bringing you on their show and get, and checking out your books. There's nothing better than having a family of people doing that.
Yeah. And it's been awesome. And the one thing I love to always say is check out the artists. Like, this is Jeff Mute's cover. I don't know if you can see it with all that glare, but that's Jeff Mute's cover. This artist is amazing.
Oh, you want the Virgin?
I mean, he is overlooked so much, but I mean, he's amazing. And then I had my cover A. It's DJ Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I was looking for my covers, like I said, every aspect of my comics, I wanted to make sure that it stood out and make sure that it was worth every penny of it. You got these cover artists who do such amazing jobs. The Jeff Mute, I mean, to me,
Oh, look at that skull.
that was
man.
just
Dude's
yeah.
he's got the helmet on. Yeah, look at that. Skeletons all underneath.
And on that Kickstarter that we did for PTSD, we sold his original art for that. And man, I'm telling you, that's a beautiful piece right there. We got an original art of his next cover, which is coming out on my Mindbender Kickstarter in about a month, and we're going to be selling that there too. But I mean, like I said, this cover right here is San Espina, and he's the guy who does the interiors. I've always been a fan of the interior artist doing a cover, and his work was so beautiful. I had to have him do a cover for me.
Yes,
and that's one of the things.
Artist should always be the A cover. That's the way I look at it. The interior artist should always be the A cover, and then guest artists, variants, whatever, all A, B, C, D, and E, and F. But the guy who did the actual work on the inside should always get to do a cover, yo.
Yeah, I mean they should. I mean, you should always ask them to give them that respect because they do so much of the work. And
I did drop Paul's Facebook up here. Do you have a Twitter, Paul?
I do, but I'm terrible with digital, all this stuff. I'm getting better at it. I'm really getting better at it, but I don't have that one written down right now. But I do have a Twitter, and I'll get that soon. And
okay, I was just going to say,
a
lot of the people that watch, we have it about 50-50. Half of them are coming from the Twitter side, and half of them are coming from the Facebook side. So, it doesn't hurt to make sure that everybody can find you. I was going to say, people like Lola, Feline, they like this. You probably get a hold of you and maybe score a copy or something, maybe, even though the campaign's over, that doesn't mean that you can't get one. Just got to know where.
And on my next campaign, I'm going to have them as add-ons as well. Cool. That's one of the things I wanted to do to make sure that other people could get them. If you're going to get one of the next one, which is Mindbender coming out in February, I'm going to put PTSD on there as an add-on. I put it on there as an add-on for Bushibu just in case people liked my writing and wanted to get both books. And, I was thinking about doing some interesting things as well. Like we got blanks of PTSD. I was thinking about doing like an ink of my hand and putting it on that blank cover, instead of a signature. There's
you might not want people having your finger.
Right? They might get me in trouble.
They might put your print on that gun.
But it's like one of those things people always ask, is this signature real? And if you have that handprint, then there's no doubt about it right there.
Well, this is the one great thing about the indies where, people are out there and they're showing the video of them signing all the books and, we get to see, we know.
Yeah. Oh, we know.
You can't fake that. You can't fake that.
Right?
I'm pretty sure you signed this book. What I mean? It's like, hey, that's the other great thing about having the show, and I can always just refer to, just go look at that episode. You decide. Yeah. You go look at that episode. You decide. There you go. You got a friend request from the Feline. Now look, we have 3 of the 4 ladies from the show Uncorked. We got Lola, we got Feline, we got Mrs. Good Stuff. The only one missing is Amanda B. And then we'd have the whole cast of the show Uncorked watching you right now. They are awesome. They do a show once a month, and it's great. It's over there on Good Stuff Comic Gators channel, and y'all got to check it out. Those ladies are supreme entertainment, I need an Uncorked sticker for product placement though.
And like I always say, it's not just the creators, it's not just the artists, but it's the promoters as well. Because if they're not promoting, how are they hearing about our product? So, I come out on my shows and I try to, mention my artists definitely because they do such beautiful and you don't hear a lot of creators brag about their artists. I don't want to say half as much as me. Sometimes I try to do the whole show about my artists. But anyway, but it's also the promoters. I mean, like I said, how else are people going to hear about it if people ain't promoting? And
Right.
I appreciate it. I know I appreciate it. I know other people do too.
Well, I mean, there's two schools of thought on this. Okay, there's the go out and build your YouTube channel and build your fan base and,
Right.
and all that, and that's great. Everybody should do that. But while you're building it, you need to go on the established shows, the promotional shows. You got to get out there and get more people to go to your channel. That's how you build your channel, is by showing up in the chat on other people's shows, showing up as a guest on other people's shows, being part of all the other shows builds your channel. You can't sit over there by yourself and expect everybody to just show up. You got to have some content.
You have to be social.
You got to have something fun to watch. And if you're just not that guy, you don't want to build a YouTube channel of your own, there are plenty of us out here that will get you seen. That's what we do. That's all we do. So, you can make the circuit and get known. You can make the circuit and go on all the different shows and get known, and then start a YouTube channel. You see what I mean? After everybody knows who you are, then you're not discouraged with how long it takes you to get to 100 subs or whatever, because now you've got 300 people that know who you are when you launched this YouTube channel. Build your fan base.
And one of the things is
on everybody else's show.
And one of the things is like, I want to build a YouTube channel myself later on down the road. I want to do something with both of my boys.
Right.
And kind of take questions about how we created this stuff and how we go about picking the artists and stuff like that. Right now, my aim is the conventions and talking to you people, promotions and stuff. So I don't have to do that myself right now. But, eventually down the line, I'd love to do a YouTube channel myself. Get me a whole setup with my two kids right here and talk about the books that we back and, other people that are doing the circuit and stuff. It'd be a great thing to do. Definitely.
What's up, Landon? That's Landon Huber. But yeah, like Feline says, we don't all of us guys don't have the same audiences. That's why we bounce everybody to the next show. I mean, there's people out there, believe it or not, that don't like watching Pops, but they watch Catch the Craze. You see what I'm saying? We make sure that you guys get known everywhere, get seen everywhere. And yeah, there are people that don't like Pops. Oh, well, what can I say? It's not for everybody. I keep saying it. There's certain things that aren't for everybody, like loyalty. They aren't for everybody. Some people get it, some people don't. Mrs. G has to go get her medicine. Look, I get you. I know what you're saying. And we have to do there's no conglomerate. There's no giant corporation that's already got the promotion all in place, and you guys just come out and they make movies and you're just selling books. It ain't how this shit works. It's like, you got to put in the work. Yeah. And then when you think you're tired, put in some more work.
One step at a time. You could take a break. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking a break, getting recharged, but have a plan. Go out there and do stuff. Right now, with PTSD, whenever it came out, I went and hit every comic book store I could, and I got into 20 comic book stores. I sold close to about 800 copies of this in a month, and it's because I didn't stop. I went out there and I promoted not only my comic book, but, everybody who was in it. And that's one of the things that you don't see as often. Some people will do the comic book stores. Some people will do the conventions. Some people will do the YouTubes. But you got to do all of it. I mean, if this is what you want, you got to do all of it.
Look,
and then you got to find out.
You're putting in the work with the stores, okay? I'm really glad you said that, because there are a lot of people think that they don't. Okay, there's the stigma that the comic book stores don't want indie books or whatever.
Right.
Go put a book in front of dude and say, hey man, you think any of your customers would be interested in this? They're gonna know. They're gonna know whether they can sell it. Now, is there a profit margin where they can sell it and make a buck? Okay, that all has to work together, right? Okay, they have to be able to make money, even if they know their customers would buy it. If they can't make no money, why are they gonna waste time put it on the shelf? You know, now they're just working for free,
right? And that's one of the things. I mean, whenever you're talking to the store, whenever you're talking to the store, you have to talk a different language because they are a retailer, and you got to know that going in. But the thing about it is, it's like, don't get discouraged before you actually go do it. What's the worst they're going to do is tell you no. You know, if they tell you no, you say, I appreciate your time. Let me go to the next store. You know, I know one store didn't buy my PTSD.
Let me step on that a minute. If they say no, ask them what kind of stuff they're looking for.
Right.
Ask them what they're looking for. What is it that you need from me as a creator to get my book on you? What is it that you need? Let me see if I can't supply it. I might have some people I know got books you'd like.
Right.
Oh, you see what I'm saying? So then you're an ambassador to the PTSD, other side.
I had one. As a matter of fact, I asked another comic creator if he wanted me to take his books with me because I was going around. But that's a different story. But you know, I had one store tell me no because that this story was too hard, and I said I understand that. You know, this is a hard story, and if you don't want it for your clientele, I can definitely understand it. I appreciate it, and I'll come back with my next book and see if you like that better. And they were more than receptive about it. As a matter of fact, he asked if I wanted to do a comic signing, even with this book. So it was like, you know, just because he said no doesn't mean that door's closed.
Right.
You know,
that's what I meant. He says no. Ask him, well, what can I do to get in here? You know, I mean, you gotta be receptive to what they're saying. You can't just take. All right. Well, screw you. You can't do that, right? You
can't.
What can I do to get in your store? You know what?
I had another store tell me, you know, you don't have barcodes on your books, and they're like, you know, we would take them if you had barcodes. And I said, you know what? I can do that. I can get barcodes on these books the next printing that I do. So I'll come back whenever I do that next print. And that's one of those things.
Just for anybody that's watching, was there anything else that they said that people can take care of going in? Now, look, if you have a book and you want to get it in retail stores, you know now you should probably think about doing the barcode ahead of time.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure they have a barcode on there.
Info right now. Was there anything else that they said?
Yeah, I mean, there was tons. I mean, you had the barcode, you had the story material, and usually they were like, you know, the size of it and make sure that it was bagged and boarded. And I made sure that, you know, this was practically the same size as everything else. But one of the places was like bags and boards. You know, if you don't have it bagged and boarded already, they didn't really want to look at it.
Right.
And I guess that's because it was an indie or it was because that store's preference. But again, you know, I bagged and boarded them, came back, and sold about 10 copies to that store. So it's one of those things that you go in there. If they tell you no, that doesn't mean no forever. Ask them what you can do. You know, there were some stores that I came to and they didn't have the person who was buying books. So I would leave a copy for them to read, and I would come back and pick up that copy and say, are you interested in buying 50 books? 15, 10, 2, any. Well, I mean, and I sold, like I said, 20 stores.
Yeah, I do encourage people to put up the retail tier, you know?
Yeah.
Even if they only sell a few, even if it's only one or two, that's 10 books that's going to end up in somebody's hands that you didn't know was going to be in somebody's hands yesterday.
Exactly.
Put a retail tier up with the little discount, you know, make it so that they can make a buck too. Put 10 books in a retail tier on your next campaign, get, you know, and tell the retailers, hey, come get it. You know, retailers pretty much don't care about all the stickers and the bookmarks and all. They want the books to put on shelf. So
and of course, it doesn't hurt for like promotional. It doesn't hurt to put promotional stuff like
you give them a print.
little
give them a print to put in the window.
Yeah, the prints put in the window. That's what I was saying. And some flyers, like I said, I had made the flyers for my books, and now they're not exactly useful because, they had the Kickstarter stuff on them. But now that they're off Kickstarter, these
But see,
retailers can throw it in the bags and say,
but
"Hey,
see
we have this book now."
that
I'm
is
sorry.
still useful though, okay? Because
Yeah.
people, like I just put it in the chat, the link to Bushy Boo, and the reason I did is so that people can still go look at it. They can
Right.
still go see the interior art, and then when your next campaign pops up and Bushy Boo's available, they'll already be familiar with it. They'll go, "Oh yeah, that was Paul's book. I want to get that." See what I'm saying? So,
As a matter of fact,
you know,
that QR code right here, I use that QR code for PTSD, and then I switched it to Bushy Boo, and now I'm switching it to Mindbender. So even if you go search this QR code, it's going to take you to my newest campaign. So I've used it throughout, and it's also in the book as an advertisement. That QR code, I try to have follow me everywhere. You can see it right there, and that's going to take you to my next campaign whenever it comes up.
yeah. Beeline's
Marketing.
Beeline just says she's talking to Death Metal Hero. See if he can pop in the chat. He works at a comic store. Right?
Oh, awesome.
Danny, who was here earlier. Danny, right? Okay. He works at the Collective down in Florida.
Oh,
they have a whole wall called the Indie Initiative. All they have on that wall is indie comics. A lot of people that he found in the madness, I will say. It's like Danny's one of our people. He gets it. My ultimate goal is to be able to go to my local comic store and buy everybody's books without all this shipping.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my goal.
One of my local comic books pastime up here in Watauga, Texas. They got an indie wall as well, and I love it. You walk into a comic book store, they have an indie wall, and you're like, here's another world that you can explore that you're not used to. And with DC and Marvel being mainly superheroes, you could just have a field day.
Usually they have usually there's some local people that you never know.
Yeah.
If you didn't go in that store and find some of the local art and talent that's, actually walked into the store like you did and gave them your books, right?
Right.
So there's always going to be the local talent. You go in the store and you ask, who are the local people around here? Who are the people come in dropping the books that, I've never heard of? You got to ask as well. There's a lot of people walking, like I've hung out in my local comic store and watched people come in, get what they came to get and leave. They go straight to the Superman or whatever, and they got it and they're out. And they go straight to the Marvel and they got it and they're out. And this store has everything. Action figures, everything, right? So most people, when they're going in, they know pretty much what they're going for.
Right.
Then you have the shoppers, the people that go in and look at everything. Okay. Those are the people you're trying to reach, right? The people that are looking at everything. Because those single track minded people that are going in and getting their pull list and they're out, they're not your audience. Your audience is them people that go in and look around and go, wow.
Yeah.
That's your audience. You got to be on the shelf for them. That's all.
and to tell you the truth, before I made mine, I was pretty much a pull list kind of guy. But I mean, every so often I would go in there and I would talk to, the clerks. And my favorite question to ask anytime I walk into a comic book store, what is interesting this week? And it didn't have to be Marvel or DC, but what is good and new. And one of the things they turned me on to was an Aftershock book, and I had picked it up. I think it was Scout's Honor, and he's like, you should read at least the first issue of it. I picked it up, and I picked up the whole line after that, and I thought it was the greatest thing. So it was like, just because you got some of these people who are just buying the stuff that they're used to doesn't mean you're not going to catch it. Guys every once in a while. If you talk to these clerks, even if you to them, if you show them your book and you tell them you're local, someone might come in and say, hey, what's new? Well, have you heard about this new guy made this PTSD book or this Bushy Boo book? And then you got a customer.
And there's Luke right there. Biggest hurdle for the shops, especially the smaller ones, is getting people to try something outside of the big two.
Right.
Okay. And that's where, you know, that catchy title, that catchy cover, that great
Right.
salesman. Look, I can see Luke at the store selling books. And if he had the
Yeah.
stuff he wanted to sell, okay, if he had the stuff he wanted to sell as opposed to the stuff he has to sell, Luke would be a happier salesman. You know? It's, you know, I'd love to work in a comic store. First off.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I'd bring the internet to the store. I'd bring the show to the store. It would, you know, I'd try to blow it up. I'd try to get it seen as, you know, just like I do an individual comic. I'd be doing the same thing for that store and every comic in it. You know,
Right.
it's like, it's all about your drive. Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. At 5 o'clock this morning, I was having severe stomach pains, problems. You know, puked. It was all ugly. I don't even know why. You know, just out of nowhere, I was fine, and then I was sick. You know, I ain't feeling the greatest. That don't mean I ain't gonna come out here and do what I do. You have to power through some stuff. You have to make it work, even if it's no matter what the odds against you are. You just have to go out and do some things. You comic creators, you go out there and you make the most excellent product, then you got to sell it. You have to sell it.
You have to.
Okay, you got to promote
Yeah,
it.
it ain't just about one part of the job. You know, it's about everything. And you know, one of the times I had gotten sick and I was in the middle of doing all this stuff for it, but I was laying down in bed and I was like, you know, I'm laying down in bed, but I can still do stuff. You know, I started making lists of all the comic book stores in the area because I knew I was going to have to go sell to them, making lists with phone numbers and a map on where, and you know, I was to the point where I couldn't get up, but I was still doing stuff. This past Christmas, you know, I wasn't exactly feeling great, but I was on that couch and I had that computer right next to me and I was typing stuff out and making plans for what I could do whenever I felt better. And whenever your passion is making comics and selling them, you can't forget that selling part is more than one layer. You know, it's not just holding it out there to say, hey, please buy this. You got to explain it to people. You got to tell them, especially new stuff. How's anyone going to know what PTSD is about? I mean, yeah, it's got a title that might tell you a little bit. But I mean, if I was to tell you this is about one guy's afternoon where he relives a lot of information that's happened to him in the past, you know, that tells you a little bit more. It's a Twilight Zone type story where you know, it's a cautionary story where it's like, don't let this happen to you.
Let me get that glare off there. Look at that.
Right? Jeff Mute's art was amazing.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to reading these for sure. Or one of them anyway. But yeah, man. Look, Paul, you rock, dude. I'm totally looking forward to the next project you pop out. We're definitely going to get you out here in a timely manner. We're not going to find out about you 3 days left in your campaign, right?
Right.
It happens too much. I find somebody at, you know, when they're at the end of their campaign, I've never seen it. It's like, where's this been hiding? You know, you're not going to be able to hide anymore, bro. We're going to be dragging you out in the spotlight every chance we get, you know.
And I appreciate being on your show. I love talking to you, man.
Dude.
Yeah. I'll pick your brain sometime about making some of these comics too, if you don't mind.
Well, yeah. That and we get with William Samuel Quentin, maybe we'll set you up over on the IGG too, so you can get the in-demand store rolling.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
You know, you know, but first we got to make sure all them people that use that platform know who you are.
Right.
So get your Twitter up and running, bro, and just drop a promo once a day. You don't have to go out and interact on Twitter that much.
Right.
Drop your promo once a day so I see it. I'll make sure everybody else sees it. You know what I mean? That's how we do
I
it.
appreciate
he
it.
froze. Oh, he's back. Yeah. All right, Paul, I'm going to get out of here. I got to party a little bit. I got to figure out how I'm going to party. As bad as last night was, I don't know. Happy New Year, everybody. Ooh. Yeah. That's not This is exactly what indie creators in the scene back in the 80s. Yep. You got to just go out there and be seen by everybody, man, and we'll do our best to help you out.
Yeah.
That's what the madness is about.
I appreciate
That's
it.
what, that's what Luke's trying to do. Everybody out here is just trying to get people to know that you exist, man, to get you seen, right?
Right.
I'm really glad that you went on Indie Bowl a couple weeks ago, because I would never know
I'm
who
glad
you were,
that she
Paul.
came. I'm glad that she came and found me. I don't know who told her about me or what, but I've seen the show and I've been a fan of it since, like I said, the awards thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I was glad to be invited. I was thrilled.
Bye, Fanta. Bye, P-Line. See, they know I'm getting ready to close and get out of here. So you can find Paul at where's that link at? I put it up there somewhere. Jeez. That far up? Okay. There you go. You can find Paul there on Facebook, Paul Gomez. As soon as he lets me know what his Twitter is, I'll be out there letting y'all know. Hey, you know what's up. If you want to take a look at the art and everything that was the Bushy Boo Circus campaign, go check out this link, which is also in the chat. If you like it, hit Paul up. He probably picks you up on the side. Don't worry about it. So there you have it. Yo, you can get that one right now. Oh, go back to work. Sell books, bro. Sell books. That's what we do. All right. You have a good day, Paul.
Yeah.
It's always good talking to you, brother.
You too. Thank you, sir.
Take it easy.
Talk to you soon.
I'm going to play some more commercials, and then I'm going to get out of here. I love this. If you guys have not seen this Stephen Prince spot, I love this. This one's great.
In a world ravaged by monsters, a new evil has risen, poisoning the land and threatening humanity. Now, the Monster Matador, along with the meanest and baddest kaiju killers, have joined forces to kick its ass. Monster Matador, Afropocalypse.
I told you. I like that one. This is all the different types of shows and stuff we got going on around here. Man, the madness is kind of blowing up. Also, I wanted to mention, we talked about Indie Bolt a few times on Krista. You guys know Krista Grant, Lola, the Indie Princess. On her Facebook page, you can still find all of the stuff that's still available on the Luke and Randy auction, or Luke Stone and Randy Zimmerman. There's a whole bunch of stuff still over there available for sale. Krista Grant on Facebook. You can find her in the madness. Go over there and check that out, man.
Hey, it's Belle from Liberty Entertainment Distribution. We've got quality indie comics in hand ready to ship to you now. Yes, really. And it gets better. At Liberty, publishers set their own wholesale pricing, and we don't take any fees, so don't wait. Call or visit me today at ledg.us or call 1-800-525-2091.
Madness merch. You know what's up. Go get you one of them. Go get you one of them F. Danny hats, or Madness Comic Network hat, or a hoodie, coffee cups. You know what's up. I gotta do it. I just gotta do it.
From author, Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho! Santastine, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Again, the stuff that's still available over there with Kristen. Lots of stuff still available. All kinds of good stuff. Krista Grant, Facebook, go check her out. All this stuff is on a link. You see Jim O'Reilly stuff. There's even Pop's art. Look, Simon, Sim, some sketch cards, all kinds of cool stuff. Rodney Fike right there. I have some of his art. Look, all kinds of cool stuff. That Rocky Raccoon right there. Oh, that's she. Who did that? That's a Pop's original. Look, some Greg Harms art. Y'all go check it out. Krista Grant on Facebook. Lots of stuff still available. Hey, yo, Pops here. Are you looking to be on Monday Madness? Is Monday no good? Do you need a special edition? Are you looking to be on the first timer spotlight on for you new guys? Launch parties, countdowns, CromCon Monthly. We got it all right here at the Madness Comic Network, providing online promotional services for the indie comic community and proud sponsor of
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month,